If you would, that would be great, Eric, if you would, because we're missing Brandon tonight. So if you would do that, that would be great.
No
Okay, I've
problem.
started the recording in accordance with the changes to the open meeting law. This meeting is being held remotely on Zoom, and it's also being broadcast live by Lunenburg Public Access via Channel 8 and on their Facebook Live page. And it will also be available in the next couple of days on their on the YouTube channel for Lunenburg Public Access. So Mike Toohill, the chair of the meeting. We have Eric Hines, Anna Lockwood, and Glenn McLeod with us. So we have a quorum this evening. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. First order of business is to approve minutes, and the minutes that we're approving are getting a little long in the tooth, but we haven't had a quorum for a while. So let me open those up. They are the minutes that actually Eric took for us. Thank you. Anna, you raised your hand.
Yes. Yes, I did. Technically, we need to do a roll call for attendance because it's a remote meeting.
Okay, news to me, but we'll do that.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I'll go through the whole list. Well, we know who's here. It's
Right. It's just the formality of it. It's up to you.
Right. Anna Lockwood,
Here.
Glenn McLeod,
Here.
there you are, and Eric Hines.
There.
And Mike Toohill, the chair, and I'm here. We are missing Brandon Kibbe, Mary Wilson, who's chairing the Conservation Commission meeting right now, and Tim Lawless from Parks Commission. So we have a quorum. We have 4 of the 7 as required. All right. Thanks for that, Anna. Now we'll go back to our old business, new business. So the minutes that we're going to be reviewing and approving, hopefully approving tonight, are actually from our September 11th meeting. We did not have quorum in October, November, December, I think, unfortunately. So it's been a while, but those are the minutes. I did distribute the minutes a couple times. I did it again this afternoon, kind of late, but I think we've distributed these minutes every month for the past few months. Does anyone have any comments on the minutes as presented by Eric?
No, they seem in order and according
Okay.
to the meeting. If it's okay with you, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 11th.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Glenn. Second. Okay, roll call vote, I guess. Glenn?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Anna?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So these minutes are approved. I'll polish them up and I'll send them over to the town clerk. All right. Next order of business are reports from other board. Glenn, you're the only one from another board here at this point. Anything that we need to know from planning?
No, nothing comes to mind.
Okay. Mary gave me some stuff from conservation, but we're going to do that as a separate item under farmland of local importance, which is actually next. So I distributed that letter that Mary had gotten, and a few other people did too. It's technically supposed to go to open space as well, and I appreciate Mary sending that to us. NRCS has a grant. They themselves have a grant, and they're putting together, hopefully putting together a list of farmland of local importance. This is different than prime and unique farmlands or farmland of statewide importance. This captures lands that either are in current agriculture or have the potential for agriculture that are not listed as prime and unique farmlands by the USDA. So not state listed or federally listed. This gives the towns the opportunity to list additional lands, soil types and lands as local importance farmland. We don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. The heavy lifting is going to all be done by NRCS, which is really nice. But in order to do that, they need to have the town sign off on letting them do that, since they'll be helping, we'll be helping them, but they'll be designating farmland within the town of Lunenburg. So I just wanted to bring that to Open Space's attention. We may get a request back. This also went to the select board. So we may get a request back from the select board to comment on this. Mary's very much in favor. I'm very much in favor. I don't know whether you guys have had a chance to look this over or not. It's nice in that it doesn't put any regulatory constraints on the land. So it's not like we're going to be designating, or they're going to be designating prime farmland, and that changes the legal status of the land. It doesn't do that. It just says, here are farmlands that the town of Lunenburg has recognized as locally important. So I think it's kind of a win-win. I didn't know whether you folks have had a chance to take a look at the letter that came out from NRCS. I know, I apologize, I sent it out late this afternoon, but it's in everybody's box. I would like to take a vote on this if possible. Just saying whether or not the Open Space Committee is in favor of this proposal from the USDA. Do you guys want me to share this letter?
I did have an opportunity to read it. I read through it once.
Okay.
And certainly at face value, it seems, obviously a win-win and a great program. But I would be hesitant without a deadline to vote tonight. Like I'd like to hear more about it than just that letter.
Okay. Mary was going to do a presentation on it, and unfortunately they changed the schedule for conservation, and we were unable to adjust our schedule. So I know that next month, I think they're going back on their regular schedule, which doesn't conflict with ours. So we can hold off if you want to, Glenn. We can hold off this until next month. There's no action item that we've been asked for at this point. And so if the select board or the agricultural commission or somebody comes back and asks us for an action item, we can defer that to our next meeting.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. If there's no deadline before us, I definitely would feel more comfortable with hearing other opinions and input.
Okay, sounds good. In the meantime, Eric and Anna, if you get a chance, take a look at the letter. This is all the information I have is the letter, and then an email from Mary. But Mary will be able to, fill us in a little better next month.
Is she doing a presentation to the Conservation Commission regarding this?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
He had conversations with Al Averill from USDA, the soil scientist from USDA. And that's all I know is right before Christmas, she and Al had conversations. He sent this letter to the town, and Mary just asked me to, bring it up at tonight's meeting, start the discussion on it.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen it. I hadn't checked my email, so.
Okay. I dumped it
yeah.
in an email today with several different things, including the next item that or one of the next items that we're going to talk about. So take a look. If you don't get it, let me know, and I'll send it over again.
No, I got it. I just opened my email once you said that you
Okay.
had sent something, just because I was working.
Okay.
But,
You're working.
I know I am. I'm still here, but it's okay.
Oh man, you
I
gotta
like what I do.
be like me, be semi-retired.
Oh, I'm a few years away, unfortunately.
Yeah, you too, Glenn.
No, I was just going to say, it didn't seem, my initial reading of the letter too, it didn't seem as though it was going to be up to us anyway. Like any one of those listed heads could authorize it. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So they typically go first to conservation.
Sure.
So the chair of the Conservation Commission can sign it. We can sign on, or we can just give support.
Yeah, because even if we did not like it, it could still go forward.
Absolutely. Right. But they'd like to, obviously, I think
course.
they're going to be asking for our input at some
Of
point.
course. Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to item number 5, unless you have anything else on the farmland of local importance stuff. I think we're good on that for now. We're going to table it until next month. Okay. Item 5, I just got this the other day, and actually I got it through Mary, which is interesting because keeps happening. We're supposed to be, the Open Space Committee is supposed to be notified of this, as is planning and the conservation, which did get notified, I think. And I forget who else. I think it's it's not the town engineer, but it's the one of the other town departments is supposed to get notified. We consistently don't get notice. There's a 100 Townsend Harbor Road is a fairly decent sized parcel. And if I can, I'm gonna share a screen. This is where I wish we had Brandon here because he's more the whiz of this than I am. This is the parcel here. It's a large parcel. This is Townsend Harbor Road, and it goes all the way back into this wetland system back here. The overlay that I have on there right now, because we were talking about farmland, this is one of those areas that could well become farmland of local importance. It's not prime, it's not unique, but it's definitely in a soil type that's a farmland belt. I didn't see any parcels, open space parcels that I know we have the 6 criteria that we go through to figure out whether or not we should recommend the town exercise its right of first refusal. And this is just a recommendation from us to the select board. It does have, the right kind of soil types, the right habitat. It has some wetland systems on it. It's not in priority or estimated habitat. It's close to one. It's close to a priority habitat, but it's not in it. It's pretty much surrounded by residential lots, except for the back lots. Actually, I think maybe one of the back lots is a residential. Looks like it's a pork chop. It's been in Chapter 61, and they are looking to develop it or sell it for development and take it out of Chapter 61. So it's come before us in the conservation and planning to discuss whether or not this is a parcel that the town might consider exercising its right of first refusal. As I said, it doesn't seem to abut any of our open space land. It doesn't have an access point to any adjacent open space land. It's a nice parcel, but I don't know that it rises to the level of the town exercising its right. But I think we should discuss that. I don't know whether any of you have had a chance to take a look at this information.
It looks to be a hayfield now, right?
Yeah, let me
Mostly, yeah. There's a small kind of forested section in the smaller kind of wing there,
Yeah.
yeah.
but it does look like somebody's currently mowing it for hay. I've got some aerial imagery with tractor tracks.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can see the aerial I just pulled up. Yeah, and that's why this is that area. It's a lot of this area in here behind this house into the woods a little bit is I think it's Woodbridge, and I forget what the other soil type is, but it's good farming soil types. But as I said, it's pretty much surrounded by residential development all the way around here, all the way across here. This is Hickory Hills up here.
Do we know what is the sale price is?
All I have on it is the letter, and it does not say anything. It's just a letter to the assessors, select board, planning board, conservation. The Staffords are the owner of record, gives the book and page. They intend to sell for other use.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Yeah, on the letter it says that a copy of the purchase and sale agreement is enclosed for your information. So I guess they didn't send you that.
I got this from Mary.
Oh, okay.
I got the conservation had gotten this, and so Sophie sent it on to Mary, and Mary sent it on to me.
Okay. Huh. I mean, I don't like large development you know, this lot has a lot of frontage. And I bet this is probably will turn into, you know, 4 to 6, like the wetlands probably on the back since it's been hayed. Let's see, there's a frontage. It's probably, it has about 700 feet of frontage. So
Yeah,
they're probably gonna get, and I know that is water there because the Hickory Hills has water. I don't know if they have sewer, but yeah, they're gonna, you know, it's probably gonna turn into another 6, you know, 6 houses. And you know, it's loss of farmland, which is not necessarily something I like. But it, you know, I don't know if that's a compelling. I based on the 6 criteria, I don't think that's compelling to preserve open space, for the sake of preserving open space. But it is sad to see, you know, a farming community, you know, losing pieces of land here and there that are farming. Yeah, that's all I have.
this is another one of those cases too, where interestingly, we weren't sent, you can say, as you can see in the letter, we were not sent the information, nor have we been asked to render an opinion. I just taking the bull by the horns. I know it's coming, so.
Yeah,
And we keep talking about this with planning. You know, this is one of those cases where if the planning board and the Conservation Commission have strong opinions one way or the other about this, this is where we've been talking about having a special joint meeting to
right.
discuss a particular issue. And so, Glenn, if this comes up, I don't know whether this has come up planning yet, because it just came in.
Yeah, I have not seen it as on the planning board.
Yeah, December 17th is when it was mailed to you guys. So I don't know whether you've had a meeting yet, but it should be coming up soon. So what do you folks want to do? You want to hold on this? Because again, we don't have a specific request from the select board or any of the other boards to render an opinion.
Well, you know, we can have an opinion because I think eventually, because the communication is not good, eventually we are going to be prompted for our opinion. And at that point, it's going to be, you know, 90 days in out of
Right,
120.
the timing is going to be too late. That's
Right,
what's happened before, and that's why I appreciate Mary sending this to me right away.
right.
Because we've, you know, we've gotten caught where we have a week to respond, and we don't have weekly
Right.
meetings.
Right. So, yeah, you know, not knowing the price, I think it makes it hard, but I'd love to keep it. I'd love for the town to keep its hay fields, but it does not meet the you know, 4 of the 6 categories that we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Glenn or Eric, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, on a personal level, I agree with Anna. I think it's a shame to see, you know, more hayfields get built on, but I don't think that there's any way around the fact that this doesn't seem to meet the criteria needed. I don't think this is a good candidate for where we would want to exercise, you know, the influence available to us. I think it's great that Mary provided this to us. Is there a way that we can kind of take it upon ourselves to respond in some way saying, you know, not necessarily addressing this in particular, but just noting that we weren't copied and lodging a symbolic protest and
like I did the last time,
yeah, repetition, you know, it's like sometimes it
which
takes
got me nowhere.
yeah. Fair enough.
I also agree with all the stated comments, and I'd be more than happy, or I will follow up at the planning board just to see, if we can streamline it a bit more than hopefully has been done. Obviously, there's still a little bit of a chink in the armor, but I'll be sure to make that a priority to follow up on that issue.
Okay. And I know conservation is discussing it tonight, so I can find out from Mary tomorrow what they thought about it.
Yeah, and I'm certainly, in agreement with everything that's stated. I'm also have no problem just tabling it until, to see if any other board has a specific need, beyond our criteria, and then we could, support them.
One thought I was having when I saw the agenda, Mike, is the town buys these lands, and then one thing is we put in conservation, but I was wondering if there is a strategy of buying these lands, putting a agriculture restriction on it, and then sell it. So we're not holding perpetuity, and maybe we make some of the money back, but get on the business of just protecting more land. And have you heard of any town doing such a thing, or no?
No, I haven't specifically, but now that you mention it, it's something that I'm hearing Brandon's voice. It's something that Brandon talked about. I think we were talking about a couple of the parcels that were up by Flat Hill Orchard at one point that have since become 4 homes or something like that. And we talked about that possibility for those parcels. And that way recouping it back, even leasing it back to the orchard people, the town could own it and lease it back or something and make some money on it. You don't make any money on it, but you could pay some of the bills. I don't know about that, Anna. I mean, I don't know how we go about doing that.
Yeah, and and I know the Conservation Commission in Lunenburg, they received a $1 million state last year. So, I don't know, to use that money, if they would need what kind of, because it's not a budget item, what they would need to do, and they're not us.
Yeah.
It would be great if we could exercise some of these things and see if we can come up with creative ways of just, protecting the land and keeping, everyone likes to talk about the character of the town, but we got to do something about it if we want to keep it. Yeah, so that's all I have.
Okay. Well, I'll touch base again with Mary and see what they came up with. I looked at, I'm a wetland scientist by background, and so I looked at all of the stuff that Conservation Commission would be looking at, and I didn't see anything specifically unique about the parcel from a conservation standpoint. So I'm going to hazard a guess and say that they're not going to bite on it, but we'll see.
Right.
Okay, so table it for now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Citizen comments would be next. I don't see anyone else on except us. Go ahead.
I'll make a quick comment in as my role as a citizen. I would just encourage the watching the Municipal Building Design Committee, as well as the Selectmen's meeting last night. The Town Hall design project is moving, at quite a pace now. So I would just, and they did 30 School Street, that parcel there is now being discussed as a potential, it's in play now. So I would just suggest that the committee members, as well as any public that is watching this, just to get up to speed at the status of that project. It is moving quickly.
And the best way is through select board meetings?
Yeah, I watched the if you want this Cliff Note version, last night's so the 7th, January 7th selectmen's meeting would give you the Cliff Note version, but the MBDC's meeting on Monday would give you the full version. Probably I think it's a pretty lengthy meeting, about close to 3 hours, but the first maybe hour and a half would get you pretty much up to speed. But it's moving quickly, and it's a very important project, so it's important that people get up to speed. And like I said, for a project that moved so slowly for so many years, it's now moving quite quickly. I did
Curious,
send in my comments, comments that I did have, again, as a citizen, straight to to the committee.
I'm curious, Glenn, where does it stand from a funding standpoint? Do you know?
Well, I mean, that's where they're working on the design to be able to, come up with a number to bring, I believe, to the annual town meeting. I know they're trying to keep it under 15 million, but there's no hard numbers at this point.
Yeah.
They're just really at the initial stages. Like 2 weeks ago was the first meeting with the architect team that they hired. And then, so it's really moving with significant steam right at this point, from my impression.
Did they have a separate consultant doing site evaluations?
I would imagine they do. My formal answer to your question is I'm not sure, but they have quite an impressive team, a firm that's helping them through the process.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'll have to look for that. Okay, that's anything else for citizens' comments or other comments from the board members before we move on to talking about upcoming meetings? No?
Mhm.
So basic question for you folks. Does this schedule, date and time work? We've seemed to have had a lot of problems this past fall with conflicts. Is it just because we've got 7 individuals that are very busy and we're going to have conflicts, or is there something inherently wrong with doing it Wednesday night at 7:30?
The last meeting that I was a no-show, I simply forgot. I don't have any, it was not
Okay.
it was nothing beyond a human gaffe. So I don't have any issues.
Generally speaking, I'm available. Sometimes things come up that I can't make it, but generally I'm available, especially the 7:30 start. I usually, even for me working long hours, I'm usually done by then.
I was going to ask, would pushing it up hurt or help at all, like to 6:30 or 7?
For me personally, it's better 7:30.
Okay.
But I'm one person, and if it's better for other people, no, I will always do my best to be here.
Yeah, I'm indifferent on that realm. I do have a preference for in-person meetings, but I know that's a hill I wouldn't die on.
Well, we got to talk about that. We've done those in the past. I mean, obviously, prior to COVID, we were doing them all the time. We could do that on occasion if we want, give it a try.
Yeah, generally meeting online on Wednesday evenings works very well for me. But I would certainly be eager to join some more in-person meetings. I've been to one in-person open space meeting in my time here. And I think it'd be nice to maybe mix one of those in once in a while, just to get to know people a little better.
Okay.
Eric, Mike is very, very tall. So just, okay. So
Mike is one of the people I met in person. So
yeah. So I met him in person at a select board meeting, and oh man, I don't think the camera could capture both of us standing up.
Noted.
Okay. maybe not for February, March, because of the weather issues, right? But as we get into the spring, April, May, something like that, maybe we should, think about having in-person meetings a couple of times. I think especially as we start to talk more seriously about the revisions to the open space plan, which is going to start happening next year. It's going to be, I think, it's going to be a lot better for us to sit down with pen and paper and work things out at meetings. All right, so we'll keep to this schedule. I didn't look at my calendar, but I'll post the next couple of meetings. I can do that right now, probably. So it looks like February 12th will be our next meeting. And the one after that is actually March 12th. So the 12th of February and the 12th of March, 7:30. And we'll do those on Zoom, and then we'll look into April as we go forward about getting the room over at Bellata. That's where we used to meet all the time. So we can get the room over there. Okay, does anybody have
Okay.
anything else? Anna?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you for
Okay.
hosting the meeting.
Yep, short and sweet.
Yep.
All right, thanks for doing the minutes again, Eric. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I
So moved.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. I'll second. Eric will
Okay.
have the motion. Yep.
yes.
He jumped right on that one.
I know, I saw it, yeah.
I saw it coming from a mile away. I mean,
Glenn,
Aye.
Eric,
aye.
Anna,
I
and the chair votes aye. So thank you all very much for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
thank
See you
you.
next
Have a nice
month.
one.
Thank you, Mike.
Night.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.